guys, I'm here in the Sysmanta lab with our computer science guy right here, Beckman.
So working on this right now?
Yeah. But I'd just like to take this time and talk about the upgrades that I made to the Monoprice Maker Select version 2. So this is a really old printer, around 2015, I think, or 2017, either one of those dates. But it's an old printer, and what's interesting about this printer is that it's actually a duplicate printer of, so you can read it right there, the Wanhao i3. And so that printer is a Chinese clone of the Prusa i3. It's based off of that one. And so what you end up getting here is, because it is a Wanhao i3, you can actually load firmware that's compatible with an Arduino on there, because that's what drives this printer. So what we're able to do is we used an Arduino Micro as a programmer, ISP programmer, in-system programmer, and we hooked up the pins in the inside of this circuit to reprogram and load on a bootloader. And the bootloader allowed us to access via serial, USB serial, and upload our own firmware. So you can see that right here, right where it says USB. And we're able to upload our own firmware onto this device, and we were able to add some upgrades. So I'm gonna go through those right now. We have some printed upgrades right here, which are still in the works. We'll make an update video about that. But this is the most interesting thing right here, and I'm just gonna show you. You guys can take a guess on what this might be. Here, move the thingy away, just get it on there. So maybe you guys in the comments can leave a comment what you think it might be. But basically, I'm gonna click this button right here, and you're gonna see what happens here, and I'll explain it as we go. So basically what's going on here is we have this device right here, which has a microcontroller on it and a magnet at the top. And basically what it's gonna do is it's gonna go down and it's gonna touch the bed plate, and it's going to use the information about how much it just pressed down to tell the microcontroller inside of it what distance it is from the bed, essentially. And what that does is this computer inside of here will generate a grid, a mesh grid. And that grid will basically be, I'll try to attach a photo on here for reference, but it will basically be a grid that shows the levelness of the bed at different areas. And the extruder can then move its position based on whether the heights that it's getting in different parts of the bed, and print at that height, so there's no manual adjustment with the bed as you would normally turn these. So what am I gonna say? There's a few things you might wanna know before upgrading this. This is a knockoff, this is a clone of a BLTouch sensor, and those clones are typically called 3DTouch sensors, and you can get those for $5. In the US, they're typically around 10 bucks. But you can get these things really cheap. And to get this to work, you're gonna need to hook this as your Z-axis end stop in here. And you can see that it doesn't use the limit switch on the bottom here anymore as the Z-axis end stop. So this thing acts as the Z-axis end stop, and it will shoot at that little thing, gauge the distance, and figure out when it's at the end of the bottom. But yeah, it's signal wire. You end up replacing the signal wire, the yellow wire on here. You route it to this A4 on the internal header on here, and yeah, you're basically in business. You just upload the new firmware after you've uploaded your bootloader, and yeah, you'll be ready to go. You'll have a full leveling printer. And there's this upgrade. We have a high RPM fan that was to address the heat creep issue, and we also got a metal thing here for the filament extruder to better handle the heat that's in here and disperse it more into this heat sink right there. So that pretty much wraps up the video. There's all sorts of upgrades here, 3D printed parts that we had to make, such as this one, an extension for the X-axis end stop limit switch for the fan, which was bigger. And yeah, and we had to add a potentiometer to quiet down the fan and limit the voltage. But basically, that's it. That's the wrap up for this video.
Yes,
So
sir.
remember, sysfantha.com.
Yep.
Check it out. We got a lot of cool shit
Link
there.
in description.
Link in description. If you want these models, we'll post them on our website. And thank you for watching.
We do custom orders as well.
Yep.